All right, today is the 24th of January, 2018. This is a litter of 6 Sheepadoodle puppies that were born on the 16th of December, 2017. I hope I said 24th of January, 2018. That's what I meant if I didn't say that. I don't know. Anyway, this is Lawpadoodle Canine Manor. Our website is www.lawpdoodle.com. The number 9 Manor, manor.com. Now these puppies are all claimed. We just are waiting to assign one more of our girls, our red-collared girl right there. These puppies were born of Cherry, our AKC Old English sheepdog, born here out of our very own Naomi and Gino. And the sire, excuse me, the sire is Ram. Also, well, no, he wasn't born here, but his dad was raised here and has recently retired. I believe it is. Yeah, these are Rams, I'm pretty sure. We have Ram and RG is actually getting ready to retire, but it's noted on our website. I apologize, I just don't have my notes in front of me, and unfortunately we do not have Wi-Fi signal in our nursery, which is only a few feet from our home. Our signal is very limited as far as cell service as well, unless I have Wi-Fi calling, which I have to be in the house for. And those are the drawbacks to living in the country, and I wouldn't have it any other way. That is our gray-collared boy. Now, as you can see, he loves to play, got plenty of spunk and energy. He's as cute as can be. He's the first one to pop out of the box when I open up the door. He had my husband and I really tickled last night because he was owning it over here. The only thing that we're keeping an eye on him, I don't think it's any issue. He just seems to find priority in exploring, and he still wants to just nurse on Mom, which we will be weaning her very soon. He seems to not have a whole priority as far as the solid food like his siblings do. But we got him enticed yesterday with some canned food, and then he ate the regular food, so he is starting to eat. He's just over 4 pounds, the lightweight of the group at this point. And again, I think it's just because he's such a busy little boy that he's held back a little bit, but he will soon catch up. Very healthy, very solid, just a little bit smaller, and it could be his genetics that he's just going to be smaller than the rest of his siblings, but definitely not too small. Nice, full, fluffy coat, lots of energy and spunk, and as you can see, he loves to play. So that is our gray-collared boy. Already has been assigned, and he's the one that we call Pistachio. All right. Let's see. Over here is our brown-collared boy. Also, he has been assigned, and his name is Chestnut. I just weighed him in at 6 pounds 5 ounces, or 6.5 pounds. Excuse me, not 6. Yeah, I wrote 6'5", but it's actually not ounces. It's actually 6.5 pounds is what it came up on. All right, I just decided to not round them off, but not do the minute ounces on this one as I weighed them. But I have it noted if I need it. All right, and there's our purple-collared girl. She's already been assigned, and she weighed in at 6.5 pounds as well. All right, and let's see. There's our red-collared girl. She's the one that has not yet been assigned, but I think will be probably within the next 24 hours. And she weighed in at 7.5 pounds. She's a big girl. All right. That is our black-collared boy, and likewise, he weighed in. He's the one that we call, let me see here, Walnut. I gave up trying to memorize names. Just too much. All right, so he is the one we call Walnut, and he weighed in at 7.5 pounds. Okay, and our pink-collared girl, she was our first one chosen. She is going to live with a family that had one of our Sheepadoodles for 4 years, and for unexplained reasons, suddenly passed away with a cancer diagnosis that literally just, the symptoms came on, they rushed her in, and she never came home. Cancer is not something we have a test for, nor can we plan it. Much of it's believed to be environmental, but we are, of course, at the mercy of whatever food, you know, medicines, vaccines, and just like children and humans, Some react differently than others, and sadly they lost their girl. It's been very, very heartbreaking. For that, I decided to designate my breeder's discretionary choice that I hold for each litter to allow them to pick their puppy. They did not initially grab on to that offer when I passed on my condolences for the recent loss of their girl. But as they thought about it and went through their grief period, they decided that this would be a good thing to help fill the void. You can never replace your former dog, as everybody knows. They're not replaceable, but a new puppy can certainly help to fill the void and make things a little bit easier. There you can see my little gray boy next to his siblings and how he's a little bit shorter and squattier. But no lack of spunk or energy, and he is gaining daily. I'm actually keeping extra watch on his weight gain daily because of him being smaller. So I'm monitoring that each and every day, and he's doing quite well. Holding his own. Our little ones always tend to catch up. He's not one of our littlest ones. I wouldn't consider him necessarily a runt, just a smaller puppy within the litter. Okay. Let's see. So I think I covered everybody, I hope. Black, purple, red, gave you the weight updates. It's much easier for me to get a video and everybody be able to see their puppies than to try to get them to sit still on the table for individual photos. The photos are really specifically for showing you the markings. I like to get at least 2 to 3 sets of photos per litter as time allows, but I do keep up with our videos, which again I feel really reveals more, not only in personality, but certainly their markings and their looks, their coats. Don't have any really curly ones in this litter. They all have really nice, full, fluffy coats. We had one breeding, we were kind of disappointed in the coats. I'm sure they're going to mature fine once their puppy coat blows, but if I have that happen, I prefer not to repeat that particular breeding. Both parents have thrown beautiful coats before, but together their genetics just didn't produce what we like to see, and sometimes it is a trial and error. It's not something we necessarily have tests for. Oh, that's a nice position to be laying down in there. Yeah, it's what we like to see, our little frogs. Our little frogs. Yep, usually a sign of good hips. Not 100%, but it's when they have flexibility like that as puppies, it's usually a good sign. Oh, he is so darn cute. That's our little gray collared boy, Pistachio. Full of personality. I mean, he's out there. Fairly quiet litter, not too whiny, which is good. And as soon as we wean Mom later this week, as we start to move her out, we're going to be putting their crate in. Something we've been doing now for the past year to just kind of help introduce the puppies. We leave it open, but they do like to go in there and lay, which is essentially teaching them that it's a safe place and making them comfortable with the crate rather than, you know, shocking them with it all of a sudden when they go home. And it seems to help with the transition with most of them. You're always going to have those rebellious ones that are going to resist the crate no matter what you try to do. But with diligence and patience and a few trying moments, you will be able to help your puppy. You never, 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 never use crate for punishment. I don't even like the timeout idea because you want the crate to be a positive, safe place. If the timeout is for a positive reason, or resting, or just like you're trying to put your child down for a nap, that's one thing. But never, never, never use it for any form of punishment. And I grew up in the spanking age, you know, sometimes, and I'm not against spanking. I'm not talking about puppies. I'm talking about human children. But timeout was the big thing, you know, in lieu of spanking during the anti-spanking craze, I guess, if you will. So that's why I associate, to me, timeout more with a negative than a positive. So anyway, just my humble opinion. My kids turned out pretty good. My daughter's about ready to graduate from WVU with her Bachelor of Science degree. My son already has his master's and is working on his doctorate. He is married with our first granddaughter. And my daughter is married, living in Minnesota with her husband. They're working on hopefully relocating a little bit closer to home in the near future. And no children planned until they do get closer to home, so my daughter says. So, anyway, we had the joy of having them in this past week. Too brief, although I get to see my daughter here in a couple of weeks when we attend my niece's wedding, the 10th of February. I will be gone all that weekend. My husband will be holding down the fort because I'm handling her flowers. I used to be in the floral business years and years ago. And although it is something that I do not do and will not do as for hire, I still love to help out family. And so I did my daughter's flowers for her wedding, and I will be handling the flowers, short of the church flowers, for my niece as well. So anyway, I will be tied up all that weekend, and it just so happens that's the weekend when these guys would be scheduled to go home, but we've only got 6 to send home, and we will be working it out into the following week, so no problem there. Just contact me, email me. I will not be available that Thursday prior because I have to go to Pittsburgh and pick up my daughter from the airport. But if anybody is in the Pittsburgh area and wants to meet me that morning when I pick up my daughter, that is an option as well. Okay? After that, I will be unavailable all that weekend, but available throughout the following week and into that following weekend. So, okay. Thank you very much for viewing our puppies. Again, this is Sheepadoodle Canine Manor. And just want to show you real quickly, I did take a picture. This is our new flooring that my husband installed here a couple of months ago. I haven't put the pellets in their potty tray yet, as I'm getting ready to put the puppies back, but this is the box where Mom and puppies are, and then after Mom is gone, we have 5 of these boxes. And throughout our nursery, this is our nursery, our menagerie, our flooring. But anyway, this is done daily. Scrubbed, disinfected every single day. My husband redid the walls of all of these boxes. So everything has been redone. It has to be done and updated periodically because, you know, puppies can be hard on them over time, and we've been doing this for 10 years. So we're very, very grateful for our nursery. An interesting thread went through the one of the breeders' pages the other day. It caught my interest anyway. And it was someone asking about how they handle the situation with stinky, noisy, older puppies in their house as they're being weaned off. I've been there, done that. We started in our family room, and even though it was on the lower level of our home, it was still quite a challenge in those final couple of weeks. You also take a risk of exposure because people that are in and out of your house are going places, coming back in, dragging things. I don't have that problem here at the nursery because my puppies are now isolated from outside traffic aside from just myself, my husband, and close family and friends. So anyhow, as a result, many chimed in and said, well, we used to do this and we used to do that, but now we do this, and we designated our garage, and we designated this specific building off of our house, and we put this in and put that in. In other words, breeders that are really sticking with this like we have for the past 10 years are realizing that there's a lot of benefits to having a separate nursery. It does not impede on socialization. It does not impede on the quality of how you raise these puppies. There are many, many drawbacks to in-home breeders, and too many breeders find that out the hard way when they try to start out as a, quote, in-home breeder. So that does not necessarily reduce risk. It does not necessarily improve socialization. I'm now approaching my 15 minutes, but I just wanted to put that out there. So I appreciate you all viewing our puppies. And I'll come back to them and finish off this video with puppies. Uh-oh, somebody poopied. Somebody poopied. So we do that, don't we? Yes, we do. And I thank you for viewing our puppies, and may God bless you.